just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Cleveland Browns. Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And off we go from Cleveland. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone.
Jakeem Grant on the return. The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Browns sit 7-6, a game over 500 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning.
And that's caught inside the 35. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Browns get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. First down, here's Mitchell. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 18 yards, first down Niners. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
And now they'll throw with Lance. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And, Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Set.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Watson now to throw. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Another impressive drive. So they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Pressure, they got him again. Breaking through to drop him, that's Perrion Winfrey.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Lance to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
On 2nd and 10, Lance. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
This offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Lance. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Ready, set. Hey, computer.
On 1st down, Lance. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because
all right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to get it back here just past the 35. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, and we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown. Anthony Schwartz. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Now a play fake. Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
Lance to throw for it on fourth down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Watson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the 3rd quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Lance finding Debo there for the Niner first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Shotgun now for Lance. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Throwing is Lance on third down. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39. A good pickup there at 22. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Browns. Anthony Schwartz, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Throwing on first down is Lance. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready.
Desperation time here. Lance looking middle, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From midfield, here's Lance. Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The Cleveland offense ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Ambly Thomas. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 41. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
Ultra.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. Touchdown, 49ers. Danny Gray, 71 yards. And the Niners are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by Ambly Thomas. And the 49ers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lance. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they'll go for it. Lance. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Right back to Mitchell here. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 44 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Let's go.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Lance now on first down. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Ready, break.
Throwing now is Lance. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line. Lance looking to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Lance going to try and throw on third down here. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but This one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need,
and he can't get rid of it, he's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
On 4th down, Watson. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.